We're back in it. Yeah. We ready to get into it.
Good evening, niggas. Today we are talking about crash outs, but not any crash out. Crash outs that are actually kind of valid. This is basically a crash out due to something that is justified, understandable, or reasonable. These will also be the categories for each of the valid crash outs I talk about. So we're going to be jumping from different cartoons, movies, and other media so that I can inform you niggas on what some of these crash outs look like. So y'all know the drill. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite flavored Tide Pod, and get ready for a show. Narrated by yours truly. Let's get it. So for my first example of a reasonable crash out, we will be jumping into the world of regular show.
Of course. I never seen this show. I seen a couple episodes, like, entire show.
Now, if you've seen regular show, you know that this nigga Benson is a grade A crash out. This nigga yells more than anybody I've ever seen. And a lot of people say he's a bad boss and that he has anger problems, but if you look at the shit he goes through on a daily basis, I don't know how anyone would be able to keep their cool. And if you ask me, his crash outs are reasonable every single time. Like, have y'all seen the dumbass niggas he has as workers? Especially Mordecai and Rigby. These are two of the worst employees I've ever seen.
12 seconds later.
They will have a job as simple as folding clothes, and 5 minutes later, the whole group will end up on another planet battling some ancient god for their souls. And when the shit is all over, these niggas just start singing and joking around. There was this episode where they just kept doing shit terribly wrong. They were trying to water the plants, but didn't want to get the water hose because they were too lazy. And they decided to use Diet Coke to water the plants.
You can't use soda!
Yeah, but the hose!
Oh, what? It's too hard to get the hose off the shed?
And then, not even 2 minutes later, these niggas had to wash off the golf cart, and they were trying to dry it off with sandpaper.
What is this? Sandpaper? You're scratching up the whole thing!
These niggas are a special breed of idiots. So Pops ends up telling Benson to stop yelling at them because it's negative.
Referring to you.
What?
I'd like you to stop yelling at Mordecai and Rigby.
Is this nigga serious?
And immediately as he goes outside, Mordecai and Rigby are just sitting there, still not doing what they're told to do.
Guys are still not done?
Yeah, exactly. But when you turn it on... Sorry.
Get out of my sight!
He then tries to go search up anger management courses online, and after that, he walks downstairs and these niggas tore up the entire house. And you wanna know what they were looking for? The keys to the golf cart that they were just using. He ends up calming himself down by counting to 100 and goes on a walk. And by the time he's done counting, he sees Mordecai and Rigby painting the shed. And these niggas not only have a huge mess on the grass,
But wait! There's more!
the way these niggas decide to paint the walls is by painting their entire body and running into the wall. This nigga Mordecai ends up breaking a damn hole in the wall. And to make shit worse, when Benson starts counting down to calm down, they start counting with Benson.
89, 90,
91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96.
And by the end of the episode, this nigga Benson ends up going Super Saiyan, and Pops finally lets him yell at Mordecai and Rigby, and he unleashes all his pent-up anger.
If you don't yell at Mordecai and Rigby right now, you're fired! You lazy, no-good slackers drive me nuts! Can't you just listen to me once in your worthless life? Because if you did, you'd see I'm trying to teach you some simple responsibility!
And I don't know how long this nigga has had this power, but if I was Benson, I would have been used this to blast these dumbass niggas off the planet by now. So the fact that Benson is always yelling is reasonable to me. I couldn't imagine waking up every day and having to go through shit like this.
What the heck, Rigby? What's the matter with you? Ah! Rigby! Ah!
Now Benson is probably my favorite reasonable crash out, but now it's time for the justified crash out.
Point! You can just start packing up, honey, because I believe you're about to eat it!
So for the next character we got is this nigga from B-Movie. His name is Ken. And if you don't know what happened to him, listen up, listen close, and pay attention. Cause what happened to this nigga is traumatizing. This nigga ended up getting his girl taken. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, that's not that bad. That happens all the time.
No.
This nigga got his girl taken by a bee.
Ain't no way. Why would I be this motherfucker?
Not a person named B, not even a person with B as their nickname, but an actual insect. Yes, nigga, a bee. A bee took this nigga's girlfriend. And as a kid, I thought this nigga Ken was tweaking. Me and my underdeveloped kid brain didn't understand why he was trying to kill the bee every time he saw him. But now I understand. This nigga Barry was flirting with her constantly, visiting her house, and doing so much shit behind his back. And his girl is even caught on a dinner date with this nigga. Mind you, this is a bee we're talking about. Just in case you forgot, this right here is what we're discussing. He walks in on his girl having a literal dinner date with a bee. And look what she says, bro.
Well, hello.
Oh, Ken.
Hello.
I didn't think you were coming.
Nigga, what do you mean? You didn't think he was coming? Nigga, that is a bee. Even if Ken didn't come in time, what the hell are you doing having a dinner date with a bee? And peep his whole little setup too. Like, what is this little nigga even eating? And he ends up damn near burning the restroom down trying to kill Barry. And this nigga's girlfriend stops him, bruh. Then she says the most outrageous shit after.
And he happens to be the nicest bee I've met in a long time.
And he happens to be the nicest bee I've met in a long time.
And this ain't the first time she saved this nigga either.
Don't kill him.
You know I'm allergic to them. This thing could kill me.
I forgot to mention, Ken is allergic to bees. I feel so bad for Ken. Getting your girl stolen is already traumatizing enough. I mean, I can't relate. I'm usually on the other side of these situations, if you get what I'm saying.
Boy, if you don't get...
But I'd imagine it's a terrible feeling by a literal bee. Like, that is insane. I hope Ken is doing good wherever he is now, because his crash outs in this movie are 100% justifiable, for sure.
Yogurt night's so difficult.
If I was Ken, I would have done unspeakable things to that nigga Barry. Next, we have the understandable crash out.
Who will strike first and brand themselves a cold-blooded killer?
Anakin.
Now, the reason I didn't put this nigga in reasonable or justified crash out is because he kinda did some shit that wasn't really justifiable or reasonable.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Police steady watching me. Every day they clocking me. Red alert, I'm the dangerous. I keep that clock on me. And that...
But I'll get back to that later. And a lot of people just blame Padme for his crash out tendencies, but I think it's a little bit more complex than that. So when we first meet Anakin, he's a cool little nigga. All he really wants is for him and his mom to be freed from slavery, which is understandable. Then as the story moves on, he slowly shows more of his emotional side. And at the same time, he's also growing really tired and more confused of the Jedi Order. Cause these niggas are supposed to be his family basically, and they are dismissing all of his feelings and concerns to the side every time he tries to talk. The Jedis would hear Anakin tell them some deep emotional concerns, and they would just look at him and say,
Oh man.
And also, the Jedi Order, which is supposed to be one of the most powerful political and military groups ever, never go to intervene with Tatooine to stop the slave trade or free Anakin's mom, which in my opinion really would have helped this nigga Anakin emotionally, but they didn't. And that leads Anakin to go save his mom because he had already been having dreams about her dying. Now what he did was technically mass murder. We're not gonna, applaud that, but they did have this nigga's mom tied up. But you know when the Jedi did intervene with Tatooine? When this nigga Jabba the Hutt's ugly ass son got kidnapped. Then the Jedi felt the need to go handle that, which is really wild because Jabba is literally in charge of the slave trade that enslaved Anakin and his mom for years. And the Jedi who were supposed to be on Anakin's side go to help what is essentially his slave master. See? At this point, I'm on his side in terms of crashing out. Another thing we see a lot of is Anakin loves hard and gets attached to people who show him any form of real respect or genuine love. This is why he really likes people like Ahsoka, Padme, and Obi-Wan so much. And this nigga is willing to risk his life to save these same niggas too. He got his whole hand cut off just to save Obi-Wan's life. I would've had to just let my friend get slimed out. I ain't losing my arm. I need it for stuff. Nothing like particular, but I just need it, Yeah. And it sucks for him too, because the same deep love and attachment he has for people eventually ruins him. Now at this point, we're on the last of the movies being episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now this is when this nigga goes full crash out. And this is also the peak of Anakin's confusion and conflict within the rules the Jedi have him follow. And he's becoming more dark as the movie goes on. While this is happening, he's having dreams of his girl dying in childbirth. And even though he isn't happy with the Jedi at this point, he still leans on them and tries to talk about his feelings to Master Yoda. And this nigga Yoda was not giving any advice that Anakin wanted. Basically, all Yoda said was,
"Hey, yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be aight, nigga. You tough, right?"
So this leaves Anakin to kind of fully be done with the Jedi bullshit. He's not allowed on the council, Yoda's old ass didn't help, and he's scared of losing Padme. So as you probably know, now comes Palpatine. And up to this point, Palpatine has been dick riding this nigga Anakin hard. And he's doing this to win Anakin over, and it works. He ends up telling Anakin that he knows a way to save people from dying. And Anakin hears this, and is like,
"That's a great idea. I'm with that."
So fast forward a little bit, and we got Mace Windu confronting and fighting Palpatine. But during the fight, Anakin shows up, and just as Mace is about to kill Palpatine, Anakin saves him and cuts off Mace Windu's hand. Leading to Mace Windu being electrocuted and sent flying to his death. And like your average police officer, neither of them get jail time or punishment for killing this black guy.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Shit's crazy. We got over 900 races in Star Wars, and we still chose to kill the black guy. This is also where Darth Vader becomes a thing. So he's no longer Anakin anymore. Because at this point, he's willing to do anything to save his girl.
Just help me save Padme's life. I can't live without her.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
And now the real crash outs begin.
Execute Order 66.
Now this scene here is the main reason why I won't put him on reasonable or justified crash out lists. Cause while I do understand him, I do not think that this was the right thing to do. Beating up little niggas is never really a good option if you want to be viewed as a good person. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up before I wrap up. So at this point, Anakin has killed hella people, he's betrayed everyone he knows, and is currently on his way to Mustafar to kill every single political figure that's left alive. But then Padme shows up to confront him, and this nigga lifts her up and chokes her. And this was the dumbest of his actions to me, because this is the same person you're trying to save and you're choking the life out of her because she asked you a few questions? Yeah, I don't know. And then we get the famous Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight. And Anakin ends up becoming the first handicapped Sith Lord. And also ends up losing everything he loved because he crashed out. And like I said in the beginning, I understand why he crashed out over all this. He was mistreated from day one all the way till now, and I don't condone his actions at all, but in terms of understanding why, I do understand. He was a slave, his mom got packed up, he wasn't allowed onto the council, no one cared about his feelings, he lost both of his legs, he lost his girl, and that nigga's bald now. Any of these things would have turned me into a crash out. But yeah, that was the final crash out for today's video. This one was a little bit longer than the rest because Anakin is one of my favorite characters, so I had to yap a bit longer than the rest. And I actually enjoyed making this, so I might run it back for a part 2 or do a series maybe. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I'm tired of talking to y'all niggas. Cue my outro music.
Rapping it to a banger. Riding around till the lights come on.
Alright. Get out of here. I said, this was the last video, but